Hey everyone, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel. We're back with another video on Upland, a virtual real estate game / investment. It's kind of cool. You can spend real money on it, make real money, and then have a lot of fun playing it as well. And it's a ton of fun for someone like me who's a real estate junkie in real life who can do kind of virtual real estate as well. So we're looking at the big map right here. And I love the comments, shares, likes. Always keep those coming. And love seeing new subscribers as well. So we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully we can do that here pretty soon. This video today, I am wondering if I should start my own node. And if you don't know what a node is, it's kind of like a community effort to boost a neighborhood or create a cool neighborhood. So like there's nodes in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, all over the place. And the basic idea is a group of people get together. A lot of times they use Discord, which is a chat kind of program, and will promote a certain neighborhood, try to get people to buy there, try to get people to build there. And it really can raise the values a lot in some of these neighborhoods. And one example is Century City, which has been a pretty active node. And I have 2 properties here, built one here, and we can look at these. So I want to show you the trends I'm talking about with prices. So I bought this for 106 UPX probably 2 months ago, I'd say, just guessing. And this is not a collection, nothing special about Century City, except for, I mean, it's a cool area. You can see, look how many buildings are on it, right? That's when you can kind of tell when a node is in a neighborhood, because there's buildings everywhere. And so this one I bought maybe a week and a half ago for 154,000 UPX because I thought it was a pretty good deal. I haven't started building there yet. And then if we go to upland.me, that's where you can find properties for sale. I like this site quite a bit. And look at Century City. We're looking at just properties for sale for UPX. Sale price, 250,000 is the floor now in Century City. So it has jumped 150,000 in a month or two, and 100,000 in the last week and a half or so. And so it's kind of crazy to see that. And you know, kind of the reason behind starting a node is if you own a whole bunch of properties in a certain neighborhood, you want to try and raise those values, you can try and promote your own node and try and increase those values. So, I mean, obviously it's kind of cool to have these little neighborhoods that have lots of buildings built in them in this community effort. But at the same time, you know, for selfish reasons, it can also increase the value of your properties. So I know there was one trying to be started in Venice, right? And I want to talk about kind of what my thoughts are on what makes a good node. And you can see lots of people are building in Venice too. That's pretty cool to see. I minted a lot of properties in Venice for a whole lot of money. And they still, oh, that's just my purchase price. I should have it for sale. You know, aren't really selling very fast. So I think there's still properties you can mint in Venice right now. So even though that's kind of a node, I have a cool little Explorer. Anyway, got distracted. The prices haven't really risen there. I'm going to talk about that. There's another node in Morningside Park. I have 3 properties there still. I had like 12, 15 properties here at one time. And let's see if there's lots of building going on here. Quite a bit. Not a ton. But what we can do here is we can kind of go and look at the prices there. Although I haven't kept track of prices here quite as much, I know how much stuff was when I was selling my property. So there you can see, I don't think prices have risen there that much. If we go to Venice, we can see prices haven't really risen there that much either. Century City has gone absolutely bonkers. So there's what's the other one? Sorry, I'm building a property there right now. I should mention them. The Lazy J Ranch, right? Oh, I know people keep telling me I should take my Block Explorer graphics off so it goes faster, but I'm lazy right now. Okay. So this is in West Hills, But the thing is, look at how big this neighborhood is, and then kind of the node is just this one little area here. And you can see tons of building going on, which is really cool. That's my property right there. So I want to give a shout out to everybody who is, these guys donating Spark to me. Thank you so much, D684D and JDad303 and Rafa Mono for donating some Spark to my build. That's helping it go a little quicker. So doesn't that make you nervous having this demolish button right here? Like, why do they even have that button? It should be like hidden away somewhere else where you don't even see it and have to work really hard to demolish it. I'm sure there's a confirmation question about demolishing it, but still, this makes me nervous every time I see that. All right, so those are some nodes in LA, and then we have one in San Francisco. I also own some properties in San Francisco. By the way, we talked about this a lot before when Detroit was being released, how much prices dropped all over, and I shouldn't do it that way. I should do it this way. We'll just go everything in San Francisco. You could buy stuff for 20-some thousand. Now it's back up. Oh, that's a cheap property, actually. That's a cheap one. Is that Outer Sunset has that one? That's a cheap property, too. Actually, these are cheaper than I thought they would be. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's in the collection. This is the node right here. Oh, now it's 41. What? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. Jeez. I was looking at last price, not sales price. Okay. Ignore everything I just said. 40,000 is the floor in San Francisco right now. It was below 30 for a long time there. And then, yes, the Outer Sunset still has quite a few affordable properties for being a collection. You can see there's some decent deals in there. So that node, you could buy stuff for 30,000, maybe a little bit less than 30 as well when the prices dropped a bunch. Now you can see they're back above 40. And then there was one for sale. I don't know what happened. Let's see if I can figure out where my property is. I think it was this one I bought. And I bought this one a week or two ago as well. Nope, that's not it. I paid 38 for that one. Where is it? Is it this one? Hopefully I'm just making up stuff again. 29.5. Oh, maybe it was the one I bought for 38. I'm not sure. I bought that a while ago, I thought. Or maybe I just... Anyway, there's one really cheap in here by DJ Shorts, who is helping, with this node and promoting it. And so I was very surprised how cheap it was, and I jumped on it and bought it right away. So, but you can see lots of building going on here too. Tons and tons of building. So this could be possibly where I build my next one. They have all kinds of contests and are really good about promoting it too. But there's just, I feel like my timing is always off. And there's people building like 4 or 5 properties on here. And I have enough spark to build maybe one, unless people help me out. So, but this node too has gone up in price some, but still not like Century City. And Century City has just gone crazy. And I'm going to tell you why I think that is here. And the Chicago has one too, right? I need to zoom way out. I haven't ever looked at the Chicago one very closely. Okay, so I was doing some research, and it's Portage Park that had, I think, the most spark used to build properties of anywhere in Upland is what I just read. So if I'm wrong on any of this, please let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to be corrected and then do things better, because it makes me do things better too, as I just try and... Oh, there's Portage Park. Okay. And let me zoom out just for a second. One thing I did, I don't know, it's just kind of fun. If you guys remember when Chicago was minted out, I think I got I think there were 15 properties left to mint, and I minted these 2. So I helped mint out Chicago, even though minting the last properties in the city really isn't that great of an investment, because there's usually a reason they haven't been minted yet, because they're expensive or not desirable, or, just not that great. So, and nobody will ever know that those were the last couple minted. But in my mind, it was kind of fun. So, all right, let's see how many buildings we have in Portage Park. Ooh, look at that. Everywhere. Tons and tons and tons of them. Okay, now see, if I'd been smart, I would have been keeping track of Portage Park prices already, but I haven't. So I have no idea what to compare this to, except kind of for the mint prices, because let's see, 17,000. So it's not that expensive to buy there right now. It's really not. So that's interesting too. So even though they've spent the most Spark, or people have used the most Spark to build properties as any neighborhood anywhere, that's what I read. I don't know if that's true for sure. The prices aren't crazy high. So it seems to me the main reason that the node, well, someone said Wrigleyville was a node. I'd never heard that before. Obviously, Wrigley is a really cool area because it has Wrigley Field there, and for the Cubs. I actually went to a Cub game there once when I was very young. It was awesome. But obviously, I don't remember where Wrigleyville is in Chicago. When I went to Chicago, I was like, I think 14. Oh, I feel like it should be close to downtown, but maybe not. Anyway, it's probably driving people crazy who know Chicago and know where it is, and watching me just scroll all around with no idea. And they're like, oh my God, it's right there. Sorry. There it is. It's tiny. That's why. Okay. Took me 8,000 years to find it. Okay. So there's Wrigley Field. Quite a few bit of building going on there. But then, right, I don't believe... Is that a collection? I don't even know what the collections are in... Oh, not the Bronx. In Chicago. So, nope, no collection there. But Wrigleyville, I heard, had very high prices. So that could be a possible another node that... Oh, 62,000. Okay, that's not that bad. Someone was saying they're up over 100. And still way higher than mint prices, you can see that. But still way higher than most of the other Chicago prices. So we can kind of look at that and say, what does that have in common with Century City? And if we scroll out, you'll notice something. It's very, very small. And Century City is very, very small as well. And so we'll scroll all the way back over here. You can see, makes it easy to find. There's Century City. It's not tiny. It's not the smallest neighborhood here, you know, but it's close, right? There's some tiny ones down there, but it's a small area, and it got lots of hype, lots of great Discord talk on it, and that has just driven prices up like crazy. So I know we went through a lot of history and background there. I feel like if you really want a neighborhood to be valuable, it's got to have limited supply, right? That's one of the first rules of real estate, supply and demand. If you have a small neighborhood that's very desirable, prices will go up. If you have a big neighborhood like Venice that still has properties for mint, down here, it's really hard to make prices go up. Even with Sunset that we saw in San Francisco, it's kind of hard to make the prices go up too much because it's pretty big, right? There's a lot of, you can see it right there. It's one of the largest neighborhoods in San Francisco. And so an inner Sunset is one too. I just actually read. I didn't even know that. So there's inner Sunset and outer Sunset. And I don't think these are... Oh, that is a collection too. Okay. They both are. But you can see the building there. So yeah, before I get... Let's see if I can confirm or deny my speculation here. That's inner Sunset. We'll see if the prices are more there. My speculation is yes. Let's see. 60,000. See that? Why? Well, my analysis. Look at the size of Sunset, inner Sunset versus outer Sunset. It's so much smaller. And so if we were to start a node, if we were trying to make a neighborhood more valuable, I think the first step is figuring out what city to do it in. Do you do it in LA? Do you do it in San Francisco? Do you do it in Chicago, the Bronx, New York? There's all kinds of places to do one. And then secondly, what neighborhood do you pick? And I think what's kind of cool about this idea is you have the collections that come through, and sometimes they work out in your favor, sometimes they don't work out. A lot of really popular, expensive places people bought properties in did not become collections. So if you were able to say, I mean, not saying you have to go in LA and try and steal anyone's thunder, but, Koreatown, it's kind of big, right? But if you go to downtown, it's a little smaller, still pretty big. South Central, right? A lot of people know what South Central is. Like, you could do some nodes in some small areas that people have heard and know about, and maybe people bought in before. I don't know if many people bought in South Central. And possibly, raise the value of that neighborhood by creating this node and having lots of people build and have an interesting community. So I guess my thought is, one, should I start my own node or talk about one, or just try and make a neighborhood more valuable? I have an advantage where I have a YouTube reach and following where I can help that, and people can help join me in different things. Or should I just focus on other people's work and their nodes and try and help and promote them? So that's one question. If I were to do a node, what city would it be in? And then what neighborhood would it be in? And then finally, right, I don't have a ton of time. I do lots of real estate as well. I have a store I bought, a bar I bought, lots of rental properties, lots of flips we're doing. Well, I don't have time to be on Discord all the time, promoting it all the time. So would I be able to manage that node on a limited schedule? Or would people be willing to help me manage it and promote it and things like that? So that's another question too, is if it's worth my time doing that. But it might be fun to see what happens and where it goes and track the prices and what the prices do as well. It's been crazy what Century City has done. There's really cool areas in, the Bronx. I have properties in City Island. That might be kind of cool. You never know. But it's also kind of nice to start in a node that might have slightly lower prices, where people can get in kind of, more on the cheap side to start out with, and see if you can grow those prices as well. So lots of things to think about. This video went way longer than I thought it would, but analyzing the nodes and looking at the data kind of sucks me in and makes it fun for me. So what do you guys think? Just off the wall idea, not worth the time? Or should it be kind of cool to try and start a node, have our own followers and people try and buy into it, look into it, and see what we can do? All right, let me know. Love to see the comments. Love seeing likes and shares like that as well too. And I'd love to hear what people think and see what's going on in the rest of Upland as well. Take care. We'll be back soon.